Wedding story. Once upon a time there was a young girl about Ruby's age, and after the wedding ceremony was over, she tugged on her mom's dress and said, "Mom, how come the bride changed her mind?" And the mom said, "Well, what do you mean?" She said, "Well, she walked down the aisle with one guy and walked back with another." Heather, you have a new man in your life. And I think you should learn a few things about him.
Can we all learn a few things about him?
Brad's mom and I got him in Germany instead of a cuckoo clock. If you don't understand that, ask Sherry. She knows. Of course, once we figured out that it was going to be a boy, we started thinking about what would be a good name. You know, you got to name your kid. And I was like, yeah, I really don't want this to be something that haunts him the rest of his life. I want it to be a name that he can deal with. I didn't really want to do the Joseph F. Sims the fourth thing. Yeah, we really thought about that because I'm the third. And I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that. And I didn't want to do something like Alan Stephen Sims. Get the initials? So we settled on Bradford Joseph. And Brad was just a name that we really liked.
Tim's already there.
Joseph, of course, is my dad's name and my name. So we were like, and BJS is fine. That doesn't spell anything, you know. And we were really proud of ourselves. And we kind of neglected the idea of taking the J out of the middle and being left with nothing but BS. And you know, we really didn't realize that Brad's gift of circumlocution was going to take hold at a very early age until we were out for a family dinner at a restaurant, and after the meal, Brad decided to get up, walk around, and stretch his legs a little bit. And, it was a place about this size, and he was stopping and kind of talking to people at 5 years old now. And finally he settled on this one table, and he had this conversation with the woman sitting at the table, totally ignoring the guy that she was with. And after a few minutes, he came walking back to our table, holding the hand of this extremely attractive woman, and asked that we introduce ourselves so he wouldn't be talking with a stranger. Yeah, he's definitely got the gift of gab. This is what we're equivalent guys. Heather, you may not know this, but as Brad progressed through school, he took all the standard battery of tests that all kids take, and there was sort of a pattern that developed. It was a little troublesome. Brad had a very, very high male factor rating. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with that particular personality trait, male factor is the ability to present statistics, to have opinion, and to render judgment with a great degree of knowledge and sincerity while knowing absolutely nothing. Now, unfortunately, that's a hereditary kind of thing. And being his dad, I can assure you absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt that he has overcome that completely.
We'll go with
that. Just sort of a curious thought. It's only when you see people looking their most ridiculous that you know just how much you love them. Heather, You're constantly going to be reminded of how much you love Brad.
Brad Sims roast, folks. You heard
As Brad progressed through school and things, it became clear that he was the kind of person who enjoyed having a large group of friends around him all the time. He would come up with the most creative ideas. I mean, we had mock sword fights in the backyard. And
Weird.
all kinds of stuff, you know? And it seems obvious to me that is something that Brad and Heather are going to have to contend with the rest of their life, because as we met his friends and learned about them, what we found is they were just an absolutely marvelous group of young people. And I think you and Heather are blessed to have people like that go through your life with you. And as you go forward together as husband and wife, we are really all very happy to celebrate this day with you today and look forward to seeing you as man and wife as you go through your future together. And I know I should be finished at this point, because Brad told me I only had 2 minutes. I think I'm already overdue here. But I think it's time for a little fatherly advice. And
He can talk all day.
I could. I actually had like 47 minutes, I think, the first time through this. The lady told me it was too long, so I cut it a lot.
There's a railing right there we can tackle you.
Yeah, okay. Brad and Heather, I know, have had a lot of conversations about their future life together, about kids and family and owning a home. And you guys have always heard that marriage is 50-50, a real joint kind of thing. And there is one exception to that rule, Brad, that you should be well aware of: closet space. Brad, this is just for you. And on a serious note, there is one thing that a man goes through life, and the most precious possession that he will ever have come into his life is the heart of a woman. Treasure it well. And finally, I would like to give you a recipe. I know Heather likes recipes, so we've got a recipe. Be agreeable with each other. Keep a comfortable home. Unite against troubles and share love and friendship. And if you would, grab a glass and stand, and we'll have a little toast of Brad and Heather. If you're able, if you're not, you can keep your seat. That's fine. May the time you have together for the rest of your life be as passionate as the first time you said to each other, "I love you." May you always yearn for the touch of each other's hand and the look you see when only the two of you know what each other is thinking without saying a word. May the two of you live in love for as long as you want and never want for as long as you live. To Brad and Heather.